Okay, hello everybody, and welcome to this Filmageddon Vodcast, episode 17 of the Filmageddon Vodcast, and the first one of this week, because we actually didn't do one on Tuesday for the first time in a while, but we had to come back here on a Thursday because this is, of course, the day after the latest Filmageddon Rewind film quiz, which means we got a lot of stuff to get to today, Adam.
We do. It's been a long week, and it's felt every fucking second of it. But you know what? Filmageddon, the quiz was a highlight for me. And yeah, I hope everyone else enjoyed it. I hope everyone else had a good time. We got a lot of positive feedback, which we'll look at a little bit later.
Yes.
But yeah, how did you think it went, Frank, as the person who was clicking buttons and reading out questions?
Yeah, I think it probably went all right last night. I think there weren't any issues with answer sheets or questions or anything like that, which is always good. We introduced some new trivia rounds and stuff, which I thought was also good. And I think people enjoyed it. It was a bit quicker last night because we didn't use as many video rounds. So I don't know how people thought about that. Let us know in the chat here or on Twitter or something like that. Let us know what you thought of that sort of quicker pace. I don't know, because, we've talked about it before, Adam, that, we're 7 weeks into the quiz now. People are probably starting to get that little bit of fatigue with quizzes. I know we're not the only quiz. People are doing loads of quizzes. That's what they excel in this country, it seems. So it's whether people want to spend two plus hours with us every Wednesday. I mean, hey, if people like a long quiz, we'll stick around. We can burn some time. But I also thought it was, it wasn't too much shorter than it normally is, right? It was probably like 15 minutes shorter than it normally was. But yeah, I think overall it went good. And from the nice comments and tweets and everything that I'm seeing from people, it seems like people enjoyed it. Yeah.
I hope so. It was good. It's very like you say, there was some new different things. Especially one of the picture rounds was just, there's no way we could have possibly have, this was a rewind quiz, but we couldn't have possibly have done that years ago. So yeah, you might have noticed that there was some new stuff in there, but it was very interesting to see, and I definitely think it spices up a little bit, just having something new and not expecting it, being like, oh, now this is relevant to know. But it wasn't an easy one though, because there's some people who got it fairly wrong.
Yeah, it was a tough quiz, I'd say. The combination of rounds, the combination of subjects. When we go back to like really old films from pre the 70s, like those tend to stumble people up. But yeah, I mean, let's go right into it. Let's jump into the grid of answer sheets, which had a lot of issues with this morning. Actually, Adam was very kind. He did all the grading today, which I will give you a big old thanks on air for that. So I thought it was going to be a nice, easy morning. All I needed to do was run this through an add-on that they have here on Google, which counts up the cells for you. But for some reason, that wasn't working today. So I had to individually go through everybody's rows and columns and add them up, which for 105 teams took about an hour. It wasn't fun. 105 teams, 60 questions each. And just having to make sure I was counting the same rows every time. I had to double and triple check a few times a couple of the teams just to make sure. So you can be sure one thing, the grading is spot on. And if you don't think it's spot on, I don't care. I'm sorry.
Yeah. If you don't like the score, then you should have kept your own one. And but I mean, you technically lost nothing from this quiz except time. But we were all trapped inside anyway. So, hey, if you don't like it...
We should say as well that if you... we say this every week, it's like the fine print, but if you did mark your own at home and your score is off from what we give, just remember that we are grading them maybe a bit different, and you'll see what we're talking about as we go through the quiz, especially the famous film quotes round. But let's go through some of the answers here. We started with famous film quotes. We'll come back to that at the end because, as you know, we like to do that with a bit of video. Round 2 was Yearly Beloved, and that was science fiction horror films that were released between 1951 and 1960. Not, I thought this round would trip up a lot of people. It sort of did. I'd say it split the room 50-50. Not a lot of funny answers because people just had some educated guesses. I've seen a couple here. Tarantula NATO is good and is probably something we'll see on the Sci-Fi Channel at some point in the future. Be stupid not to. Flying bird film, again, very descriptive of what we saw with the giant claw. Bugs and shit, they're big and scary. That's quite good. So lots of decent answers in here, lots of correct answers as well. I was actually shocked because this, being an older round, I don't remember people doing that well with it the first time we did it a few years back. But your guys' classic film knowledge is on point, so very very good there.
There was one that made me laugh that and we'll say I don't know if we'll have time to highlight it, but there was a team who would put, I think for the 1951 film, they just put The Rescuers, and I was like, oh, that's silly. Yeah. Then I noticed that all the way through, if they just didn't know an answer, because they got a lot right, they just put The Rescuers, and then I think there's the animation round that we had, and they put The Rescuers for real this time. And
unfortunately, not a Disney, or it is a Disney film, The Rescuers, and The Rescuers Down Under, which is superior to The Rescuers in many ways. And I will die on that sword, on that cross.
You'll
go
ahead. Go. I'll be down at the bottom. I'll be the Roman doing the old
poking. Someone put, I can't find it anymore, but for Village of the Damned, they put little Aryan devil children, which I thought was quite good. Oh, there we go. The little Aryan devil children. Yeah, there you go.
They're actually, the official name is Young Conservatives, and I'm sure they're still taking applications.
I don't know. I like the film Morgo. I just like it's just a fun word, Morgo.
Morgo.
Revolution of the Eye. I'm liking all this. Eight-Legged Freaks, which starred former WCW champion David Arquette, of course. Which I actually. Yes. I always like to bring it back to myself with all these because I'm a very important person. One of the first bits of film memorabilia I ever sort of got my hands on was entering a contest online, early days of the internet, probably some message board or something, and I won an autographed Eight-Legged Freaks poster.
What, from just Mr. Arquette or from the whole cast?
This was a while ago. I want to say it was just David Arquette.
You're not committed, you're not under perjury. You could just say, yeah, all of them. Fuck it.
Your Honor, it was just David Arquette.
It was just a David Arquette impersonator who signed it.
So that was a really strange package to get one day. Anyway, let's go on, because round 3 was obviously one of our new rounds, and that was comings and goings, or comings or goings. And it was a fun picture round we did. I really enjoyed doing it. I woke up in the morning of the quiz, actually, and there was we had another picture round. We had another picture round from an older quiz, which is normally what we've been doing. And I just woke up and I was like, wait a second. We could have some fun here with some road trip movies and some Photoshop. Not great Photoshop, and I like to sit on that. I enjoy my crappy Photoshops. They're crappy, but there was time taken. They're not terrible. They're better than a lot of people's, but they're not. I've not spent a lot of time on them. So, and I enjoy doing it. So we did that round. I thought pretty funny, and I thought with our audience, most people would enjoy it. And it seems like it went over quite well. And just as I thought, it was quite an easy round. Most people, look at all this green here, just knocked it out of the park. I mean, there was a couple of incorrect answers, but for the most part, you guys smashed it.
Yeah, definitely. I thought it was. I was a bit cruel, I'll be honest. And if it was your team, I'm sorry. But also, you can kind of see if everyone gets everything right, then I have to be really particular about what's going to be wrong. So Colin Ansel Elgar, that dude, or some teenager. I can't really give it.
Alan Ruck.
Someone put driver instead of drive, and I felt a bit bad.
But Driver is a film, so.
Exactly. So that's the only reason that I felt a bit. I was at that point. I was like, I should have just been doing half of this quiz rather than all of it. But yeah, it was a good round. There was some Tom Cruise appeared as
Yep,
well,
right up here.
and the someone thought it was him but they didn't know what film it was. They were just like, that looks like Tom Cruise, his
And
coat.
someone
I
also thought
imagine.
Hugh Jackman might have been not in the road, but on the road, which is
I mean, he has been on a road
I
before.
do see another Tom Cruise here. So this was the Dumb and Dumber one where we put Jim Carrey and Jeff Daniels replacing with Dominic Cummings and Boris Johnson. Someone guessed Tom Cruise and Top Gun, and it's so wrong but so funny. It's
so I kind of forgot like the images I mean, I didn't forget fully, but like when it came to the Dumb and Dumber one, I'd kind of had a bit of a mind blank. To be fair, it was probably about 3:30 when we were showing these. But yeah, I can't believe that someone put that. Yeah, Tom Cruise and Top Gun's also good, and someone put Dumb and Dumber 2, and I was like, well,
yeah, that
sorry.
that stings. I mean, and then we go to another new round here, which was a bit of general trivia. And again, I thought it was going to be a pretty easy round, but surprisingly, it turned out to be a bit tough. And we had 2 rounds. Basically, it was split into 5 films and 5 films. You had to put these films in order from shortest to longest. The first 5 films were sort of critically acclaimed, big blockbuster films. The second 5 films, not so critically acclaimed. And I sort of thought people would nail this, but I think going over the correct answers and stuff, I think we only had like 2 or 3 teams knock this out of the park, which only helps go, really prove that people aren't cheating, which is quite nice, because I would have thought, look, this is kind of a round where you could get away with it a bit, and I don't want to say, hey guys, skirt the rules or something, go for a nice drive to a castle or something like that, but yeah, I mean, it's easy enough to look up running times of films, but people, unless you're being really clever and purposely getting 1 or 2 wrong, which is, if you are going to that level with this quiz, just rethink it for a bit, because
rethink your life for a minute.
There's not a lot to play for, but what we did see here was a lot of people got most of the first 5 right with those big films that people remember, and then those second 5 films really threw a lot of people. If you got those second 5 films, well done to you guys, because I probably a common mistake was putting The Last Airbender for the longest, which that's sort of why I put it in there, because you think, oh, this is like one of those longer epic movies, and it wasn't the longest. Biker Boys was the longest, which I would have guessed was like 40 minutes. So lots of, again, not a lot of funny answers, because you had the names of the films in front of you and you were trying to get points.
Yeah.
So we move on to what was it? The soundtrack round was next, which was non-animated Disney films.
Some good films there, and yeah, obviously we started with The Land Before Time, which is one of my favorite films ever.
And I am seeing The Rescuers there.
Again, The Rescuers. So a lot of people put in Anastasia. They thought from the Land Before Time. Someone put Swan Princess, which I think there's only me and that person who's ever watched it. And some of the Castle in the Sky. It's a good guess, I guess. But
Someone put Friday 13th.
I don't know what version you're watching, but please send it over, please.
All Dogs Go to Heaven. That was one that a lot of people got right, because we can hear them singing about being dogs. So.
Yeah, it's very obvious. It's I'm sure if one of the Land Before Time song had been about like, my name's Littlefoot, I am a dinosaur. This land is before we've been able to figure out a system of registering the passing of days, weeks, months, and years. You might get
a couple of people put Rover Dangerfield, which, hey, the dog thing did throw you. Yeah. Have you ever seen Rover Dangerfield?
I've not. I'll be honest, I thought when I was marking it, I thought someone had just mistyped it, and I was like, oh, they're trying to be funny, but it's not funny.
It's a real film.
I didn't laugh. Okay. Well, I mean, if it's dogs in films, is it about a dog in a film?
It's about a dog who's voiced by Rodney Dangerfield.
Of course, and that's the premise.
That's pretty much the premise. He's got a tie that he pulls on occasionally. He's like, I get no respect there. Because he's a dog.
Wait, is it a cartoon or is it like animatronic?
Oh no! It's a cartoon. Hang on, you know what? Let's see if we can.
Oh.
You know what? We've got the technology, people. Let's find it. I'll fill some air.
Okay.
We'll fill some air as I do a little Google search.
Well, I'll tell you now, Frank, that whatever you play, I won't be able to hear it. I'm not going to open the stream to listen like on.
But you can use your imagination.
I can see the image.
Right?
I was hoping this would be like animatronic, like Puchinsky.
No, this film's come out in 1991. This was an animated film. I want to say like a DreamWorks sort of one, or no, Warner Brothers did it. So here we go, guys. Oh, and it starts off with him just saying no respect. I mean, and it's got the Pee-wee's Playhouse music or something. I don't think the people at home can actually hear it either because the audio set wrong. But you guys get the point. He's a dinosaur. He's not a dinosaur. He's a fucking dog.
He's a dinosaur.
The dog's dancing. It's Rodney Dangerfield. It looks like there's a circus involved. I've never seen it. So, oh look, he goes to Vegas.
I mean, to be honest, this dog is the weight that this dog has put on during he's taken off and just murdered the dog when he's on all fours looks like a normal dog, and then he just stands up and he's a chunking. Look at it, fucking size of him.
You know, they animate him based off of Rodney Dangerfield. That's why he's got those crazy eyes as well.
Yeah, it is. It's the same face, which oh my god, there's some gun work in it. You haven't seen it.
There's a chicken and
everything.
I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Here, look at me. My ex-wife said I shouldn't be grabbing my cock all the time. I don't. He says that. Do you know?
That might be in the Snyder cut of that film. Every film deserves a Snyder cut now, I think. All right, let's go on. Let's see. So All Dogs Go to Heaven. Next, we had An American Tail. So a lot of you guys got that one right because we could all hear Fievel. Someone put Neverending Story, which isn't animated, but yeah, sure.
There's animation portions, I guess. But...
Yeah, there's like stop motion, there's puppets and stuff. Yeah. So if you're stretching the definition, maybe I should have said as part of the quiz, sort of all hand-drawn animations would have helped. There it is. But yeah, most of you guys got that. I don't know why someone would have guessed Annie, but you did. So well done. Big Hero 6, which is a Disney film. The Rescuers for Real, as we have mentioned before. The next film up was the Care Bears movie again. Few of you guys got this. A bit harder. The Rescuers again, which I like the dedication to the bit. That's nice. That's good.
Yeah, just leave it blank. But yeah.
Another film that I remember not being familiar with when I made this round, but When the Wind Blows, with the David Bowie song in the film. So, have you ever seen Where the Wind Blows?
No, I'll be honest. When it came up, I was like, oh, like When the Whistle Blows, from Extras. But no, I've not seen When the Wind Blows. It's a nice little bit of music, though.
But it seems like it's going to be one of those depressing animations, doesn't it?
Yeah. No minions in this one. Or maybe there are, and that's why it's depressing.
The Page Master, another one that tripped up a lot of people. I really liked The Page Master as a kid. I watched it a load as a kid with old Macaulay Culkin before he grew out of his childhood phase into that awkward, druggy phase. But now he's back. Macaulay Culkin is back, and we love him more than ever.
Is he?
Yeah.
Do we?
Sure. He's kooky. Remember, there was a time like before, I think it was like the end of last year, where Macaulay Culkin was popping up everywhere on like every podcast, on every talk show. It was just like, what is he trying to peddle? And he's in stuff. I think he's in like the new American Horror Story series or whatever.
Yeah, I think I saw something about that. With American Horror Story, I always start watching it, and then I think maybe out of that, I think I've maybe finished 2 seasons, but like most of the time we start it, and after I hit like maybe the 3rd week, and I'm like, this is bollocks. So my girlfriend just continues to watch it, and I'm free of the responsibility.
I remember being very interested in a lot of it, and then just I've never actually dedicated to watching one single episode.
I mean, one episode you can get through. Like that one's not that hard, but a whole season of just absolute bollocks is not worth it. Especially when I watch a lot of other stuff.
It's true. Number 7, Transformers the movie. A lot of you guys could remember The Touch. I got the touch. That's a song that was in it.
That's beautiful.
Of course, somebody did put Hunchback 2 Air Dog Quasi.
Yeah, I think that's from an SNL sketch.
See, I don't watch SNL
I think so.
because it's
from, I think, the Lonely Island one. I believe
people like those Lonely Island peoples, don't they?
If I'm wrong, please let me know.
Boogie Nights: The Filthy Animated Tales is another good one. That's good. The next film was the classic Rockadoodle, which not a lot of people picked up on. But hey, if you've not seen Rockadoodle yet, and I said this when we did it at the Real Quiz, go watch Rockadoodle. It is great. It has a bit of live action, but most of it is animated. Someone put Animal Farm, which is very good.
That's odd. Like, I could understand guessing maybe, Barnyard.
Yep. Chicken Run.
Chicken Run, we had some of that. That's understandable. I mean, he's singing Cockadoo. I don't think Napoleon would ever be talking like sing. There was no musical bits.
Didn't think so.
There's no musical bit in Animal Farm. It doesn't really lend itself to
it. Someone put Don Bluth Rooster Movie, which is correct again in a sense, but not in the sense where we'd give you a point. Next up was We're Back, a Dinosaur Story, which, again, another one that tripped up. I guess some of these were pretty much like out in cinemas for like a week and then right to VHS, and this was probably one of them. Although somebody did guess Theodore Rex, which is, of course, very close to Adam's heart, as the biggest Theodore Rex fan I know.
I watched it, and I did say I remember saying it for ages. The Prince Charles should show it, and then they finally listened to me, and people went to watch it, and now they show it all the time. And your boy sees nothing from it.
He gets a little bit of scratch from that. Have you ever?
I do feel.
I can't remember the plot line of that apart from they brought the dinosaurs back. They were good. They loved to sing, and then a guy was trying to brainwash them to be like just crazy beasts again. So they became like, there was a mad scientist. There was a kid who turned into a monkey, which I thought was very close to Jumanji. What was happening there? So yeah, don't remember it.
Yeah, do you know, it is one of those films I've only seen once as a kid, and I've never, because like with animated films, I think like obviously now it must be different because like there's so much streaming and like you'll have endless new movies and whatever. But like when you're a kid, you only have a certain amount of tapes that you watch, and stuff like Fern Gully. That was one of the answers. I've never seen. The Page Master. Don't think I've ever seen that, and definitely didn't watch Care Bears or Transformers. So those are. It's funny that you've done this quiz and you obviously have knowledge of this kind of stuff. But yeah, I've just it never really clicked with me. So yeah, it was interesting to look at these and go, oh, isn't it funny how like everyone's such a broad knowledge of animated films? And it was like that when we did the quiz originally because it was all animated, and we kind of lent a lot into Disney. And then when you had this round originally, I think people did maybe worse at the cinema than they did maybe online. I don't know, but it's still hard.
Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of these films, and I think we've done another round similar to this where it was probably like an obscured round where they were sort of non-Disney films or animated films from like the early 90s type thing. A lot of these aren't very like, they don't have special places in a lot of people's hearts because Disney just like took over in this time. So, people like the Transformers movie who grew up with Transformers, people like Fern Gully, potentially, especially with like Tim Burton, All Dogs Go to Heaven and like An American Tale. Those are ones that stick out. But other ones, yeah, I mean, I thought Land Before Time would get a lot more people. I mean, it's a series that spawned about 30 sequels, TV series. I think they're still making sequels. They probably crossed over with Scooby-Doo at some point, I'm sure.
Those are, I think, number 14, if I remember, had aliens in it. Like, it was like this like ostrich-looking thing, and then it was alluded that it was an alien. I don't know if I've made this up, but it was purple. Right. I remember that.
They should reboot this franchise as like CGI, like take away the numbering system. Give us a new take on it with a bunch of fun pop culture jokes. It could be the new Shrek.
No, because what they'll do is they'll do like what they do in every animated film now, and rather than being like, who could voice this character? Let's try and think about it. And you know what? Maybe it won't even be someone like big. It'll just be a good voice actor. Instead, like, let's get a guy who's on Parks and Rec, and then this up and coming comedian, they can play a
Oh
dog,
man.
and fuck off. It's just a way to just put like these. It's basically like a celebrity name in it, but there's no reason to do it because it's an
Here
animated
we
film.
go. Cast The Land Before Time right now. So we've got, let's remember all the creatures. There is Littlefoot. Who could play Littlefoot?
Yes.
So we're doing a
Little
proper DreamWorks job here. We're going like really low level, bottom of the barrel casting with this. So,
Okay.
Littlefoot is like, I feel like Littlefoot could be
Nope.
that one where they actually cast like a child actor who we maybe have heard of
Oh.
a bit because it's the surrounding cast, which is going to be the crazy people, isn't it?
Yeah. So young Sheldon.
Young
Sheldon
Sheldon
would be
is
fucking...
Littlefoot, yes. Ducky's got to be Aziz Ansari. I mean, you alluded to Parks and Rec. It would be perfect. He's that annoying little voice, and he'd definitely he'd play it the same way as well as his character from Parks and Rec.
Yeah, I mean, Ducky was a little girl, but I mean, he can
Yeah.
do it. He's the same sort of build.
Yeah,
and-
he's got one of those voices that could go as man or as woman. I don't know why I said as woman.
yeah. As woman.
What about
Yeah.
Sarah, the hot-headed Triceratops?
Oh, that they'd end up going with. See, they'd want to have. They couldn't just have like someone just playing like, because like Sarah, the Triceratops, bit like a bit sort of rough and
Yeah.
tough. So they'd probably just get someone like Ronda Rousey to do the
Ooh,
fucking
I
voice.
like that.
Because it's an easy
Yep.
sell. You
Yep.
don't have to go like, wait, what? Them playing that? I can't believe it. Instead, it can be like, look, she's tough in real life. Now she's a Triceratops.
Okay, so Ronda Rousey. What about Petrie? The
Oh, the
little,
little fucking turd.
little turdy pterodactyl.
I don't know. Who do you think? Who have you got?
I
on this
think
one?
you know what. I think I accidentally mixed up Petrie and Ducky in my mind, and I thought Petrie
Ducky-
should have
yeah,
been Aziz
okay.
Ansari.
Okay, then who's
All
gonna?
right,
Okay,
so Ducky was the little like green.
plesiosaur
Yeah.
thing.
I
I believe. Is it? I can't really
Ducky
see this.
is a. Let's go really thorough here. Is a green female Saurolophilus.
Oh, Parasaurolophus. Okay.
Sure. Yeah. Yep. And who would play Ducky?
Hide my shape. Well, that's gotta be it's a that like I say it's kind of a
Did Ducky have a bit of a lisp?
Oh, maybe like Christian Shaw. or
Ooh, no,
something?
that would be good. Kristen Schaal is Ducky. I think she could do that because she's
Yeah.
very good with voice acting. She's got very unique voice, that very high voice as well. I like that.
Yeah.
What about Spike? Obviously, he didn't say much.
Oh, dickhead! I hate him. Probably it would be either like they do a Vin Diesel because all
Yeah.
he does during it in the film is just like, "Duh." Or more likely they'd probably have him doing wisecracks, and it'd be fucking Kumail Nanjiani. So
I think you nailed it with Vin Diesel. I think that's
Vin Diesel as fucking
so.
Spike.
Young Sheldon as Littlefoot. Ronda Rousey as Sarah. Petrie is Aziz Ansari. Ducky is Christian Schaal, and Spike is Vin Diesel.
Yeah, there you go. And you get one of like what was the name? Who's in Golden Girls? The one who's still alive.
Betty White.
Yeah, she'd be like Littlefoot's grandmother at
Yep.
the start because they have like the grandma and the granddad look after him, don't they? And he sits in their like back or something. I don't know. I remember
Like
just as a
folds
kid being,
in
like,
their
jar.
folds in their skin or whatever.
yeah. So there obviously used to be like really big like fat ones and stuff, and as they've gotten older, these sagged. I mean, this is a children's cartoon.
So yeah, if anyone wants to remake this film, just give us a call. We've got lots of ideas, loads of ideas. The cogs are always turning. But back to the answers. The last round was the obscured round, and that was Sword and Shield, sort of medieval themed films. A lot of you, pretty much everyone, got A Knight's Tale, except for the people that thought it was The Last Knight. Probably thinking I'd slip another Transformers in there. I should have, really. I should have put Transformers
Yeah.
Last Night in there. Kingdom of Heaven, that sort of split the room. Whoa! A couple people thought Gladiator. A couple people thought Pompeii, Pirates of the Caribbean. But yeah, Henry V. A lot of people got Henry V, which is I guess not too shocking because it did quite well. People think favorably of it. Robin Hood, which is good. A lot of you guys put the new Robin Hood. Although I did feel bad for the person that put... You went into too much detail because you put Robin Hood, which is right, but then in brackets you put Taron Egerton. And if you just put Robin Hood, we would have given you the point. But you made the point of saying, I mean the Taron Egerton film, which wasn't even called Robin Hood. I think it was called like Robin Hood, Cool Kid Thief Man or something like that.
Cool Kid Thiefman, that's his last name, actually.
So we couldn't give you the point there.
Shit.
Braveheart. Yeah, most people got Braveheart.
This one, yeah, except read it out. Someone.
I'm gonna zoom in on it as well. Hang on. Oh no, I've lost it now. I've lost it. Where'd it go? Braveheart. There we go. Braveheart. Someone put Shrek.
That counts as a race crime. To be honest, you've literally just watched it and gone Shrek.
Next, of course, Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Most of you guys got that one right. Season of the Witch, like I sort of thought, not a lot of people got that right, and the people that did get it right, shame on you for knowing that. The Princess Bride came in at number 8, where somebody, not even the same person, somebody put Shrek 2. It's amazing how these things happen with this quiz sometimes. It's awe-inspiring. Your Highness, a lot of people got right. I guess I'm missing out by not having watched it, maybe.
Don't.
Good.
It's very, very, very bad.
Is it bad in that it's just not funny, or is it like, is it trying to be funny and it's just cringeworthy?
It's trying to be funny. It's like trying to keep on the roll of like, Pineapple Express, you like that? Okay, now I'm making this, and we've got all my mates here in it, and it's just not very good. And I said in the chat last night that I paid I paid £3 to watch it at Genesis in East London, and I felt ripped off. It was that bad. It just was it wasn't good.
Well, I will avoid it. And finally, Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. Yeah, not too many funny answers there. Someone put Robin Hood Men in Tights. A couple of people put Robin Hood Men in Tights. And someone else put Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. But all wrong, because it's Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. Which then, of course, Adam, brings us all the way back to round 1. Which was we got to rewind all the way back here for the famous film quotes round. So let's bring him up. We'll go through this relatively quick here. Obviously, the first one was from The Godfather. I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse. I'll make him an offer he can't refuse. That's what he had to say. But what if instead of that, he simply just said, "Your family." That's it. I mean, again, sometimes we are digging from a very shallow well, and especially.
We are, and I'd just like to say, just like to thank the writers of the Fast and Furious franchise for playing along with the quiz, because clearly that was just the first thing. Whenever they do anything about Fast and Furious, it's like family matters. I'll come back to that sentence. But no, that was all.
Right, and then we go, and especially, it's got to be said as well, some of these quotes are very famous film quotes, so we didn't expect a lot of people to get them wrong. So there's not a lot of opportunity to put the funny answers in if you're going to get them right. You don't want to throw away the points, right? You're in it to win it with this quiz. So let's go on to number 2, which of course was from Psycho. We all go a little mad sometimes, is what he says. That's the line. But what if instead of that, he just said, "That's my brother's room"?
Yeah, I don't really get it, because that seems too close. Like, some of them are trying to be like, someone that doesn't know the answers will try and pop us, and I do laugh at them. But other times that's just like a bit too close to something that's so boring. Like, I mean, listen, I'm not judging, but anyway, I'm just gonna shut the fuck up before I say it.
What about instead of "we all go a little mad sometimes," he simply said, "I like big mothers."
Big fan of Medea, then.
He likes big mothers and he cannot lie.
There would be a Medea film where it's just like, it's all shot in black and white, and then at the end she looks out and she's like, "Ooh, I'm staying here."
They dress the same.
Just like the fucking house. Exactly. Who came
That's
first?
the biggest. That could be the
Nolan.
biggest joke of a Tyler Perry movie. He films it all legit, black and white. It is
Yeah.
basically like a Gus
It's
Van
not.
Sant remake of the remake, but it gets to the point when the shower curtain opens and then it's Medea. So the whole film is played straight up until the shower curtain reveal.
It's a
Tyler,
drama. A
yeah,
full
because like
drama.
we know Tyler
Like,
Perry, he could do a drama role. We've seen it before, so like it's Tyler Perry's Psycho, and it is, and you're like, okay, fine, and all the trailers, everything is dead serious, and it's like
Yeah.
people up to this point in the film, they're like, wow, they've done what like the Gus Van Sant film haven't done. They've updated this film, but they've done it in a relevant way, and then it gets to that point. Hey, child.
Comedy fallout
Yeah.
of the fucking. If it falls into the bath, like, oh god.
It's like Tyler Perry is playing Norman Bates, and it then turns into this whole thing about how he has gone delusional from all these Medea movies.
And it's slowly towards after that scene, just slowly just turns back to color.
Yeah,
It's like it was a joke.
Like
the whole
when
way
the-
through. And you're watching it thinking like he's got the Oscar in the bag here because we know he's a good actor. He can act. Then just let him just keep going and build up, and then just fucks it. Like got you. It was a Medea.
Oh my god, this would be the best thing ever. All right. Let's go on to to Cool Hand Luke. Where what we have here is a failure to communicate. That's the line. But what if he said instead, Luke, have you been putting your hands in the fridge? 'Cause they've been calling you Cool Hand Luke.
I actually thought
bit
I
on
was
the
like,
nose, that.
am I misremembering this film, or is that an actual quote from it? It can't be. It can't be.
We have next A League of Their Own. Again, a great film. There's no crying in baseball. Are you crying? Are you crying? There's no crying. There's no crying in baseball. That's what he says. Most of you guys were pretty close with this, but someone just put, "Don't be such a girl," which I think loses the point of the film. It makes Tom Hanks' character be a bit more unlikable there as well.
Yeah, there's no reason for that. There's no reason for him to have done that. We already anyway.
Yeah,
it was
it
wrong.
was wrong. Next up, we had the old Hal here saying, "I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't let you do that." Which is it's chilling, right? The delivery. It's the computer. What if instead of that he just said, "I do that, Dave."
You'd have to give it a whack on the side like it's a fucking telly.
Hey,
just like, are you still?
He's still
okay,
going
no.
there. It should be said as well,
Yeah.
this one was... A lot of people were close with this one, but we are tough but fair in the grading. We needed it. I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't do that. If you said, "I'm afraid I can't do that, Dave," it's not right, is it? It's not right. And it wouldn't be fair to the people who did get it right. So, again, this whole round, it goes back to showing that we grade it in a different way than you might be grading it at home. If you think it's close, it might not get the points. If other people are doing it a bit better, it's got to be said.
Exactly. Yeah, it's just you've got to be correct, and yeah, sometimes I think just if you've got a little bit more, we were fine with it, but no, sorry, tough shit.
Well, let's go on to the Maltese Falcon, where the line is, "It's the stuff the dreams are made of," and there is a couple good ones here, including this first one where instead of that he could have said, "It's my magnificent cock." Man, man. He's always got to have that.
That would be in the Medea.
What about, "When I slap you, you'll take it and like it"?
Definitely don't remember that in the Maltese Falcon.
Well, this one's a bit closer. It makes more sense. "Are you looking at my bird?" Because, he's...
I mean, yeah, he's weirdly like, he just finished the shot does finish him kind of looking off into the distance. So maybe it's it's like more of a methodical way you looking at my bird.
One last one I got here is this one's right on the nose. "The Falcon is fucking Maltese, mate." If you knew that much, you knew the film, you surely had to know the line at that point. But
yeah.
This one, it's a stretch of a famous film quote. I mean, it's from a famous film. It's not the quote you'd remember from the film. It's Kevin Costner simply saying, "It's Iowa." But so there weren't a lot of good ones from this. Someone just said, "No, this is Chicago."
They've obviously know that it's like, God damn,
It's a place. Where is it?
Where is it?
Chicago is in Illinois, not in Iowa. Someone else put, again, they just said, no, it's a field of dreams. And title card.
I had the titular line.
We had aliens next, with the line, of course, was "Get away from her, you bitch." Instead of that, what if Sigourney Weaver just said, "Dish, dish, dish. It's clobbering time, bitch."
You know that that's not it, or maybe they thought that, oh shit, maybe that is a film quote and it comes from
Johnny.
You're so close. By saying like bitch, were they lip reading? I don't believe they could on that stream. So
instead of "It's clobbering time, bitch," what about just "Bad luck, motherfucker"? going full crazy there.
Just let it out. Let it all out.
This one, I mean, of course I'm serious. So "Don't call me Shirley." That's just a funny line. No one's gonna replace that and make it better. So we'll just leave that. I am serious, and "Don't Call Me Shirley" by Leslie Nielsen. Perfect delivery, perfect tone, perfect. You couldn't top it, so don't even try it. And most of you guys got it right anyway. One line you could easily top from a film you could easily top comes from Vinnie Jones in X-Men 3. A line written simply because of a meme existed. And that line was, "I'm the Juggernaut, bitch." But what if instead of that, he said, "How dare you?"
Not a zinger.
No.
It? Like that's thinking that's one of those that he would have said it, and then maybe like a week later still been thinking about it. Like, I should have said something else. Should have said God. Like, yeah, I'm out. Would the ground.
Would have been perfect.
I don't know.
What if instead he said, "I am Floor"? And then
I am Floor is like, did you think that character's name is Floor?
There were
so
many stupid, ridiculous mutants in X-Men 3 that maybe he could have been. There was a mutant called Floor whose power was that he just was the floor.
That would have been good. It's just at the end, they just go like, well, another day, everyone is saved, the fucking mutant race, blah, blah, blah. And then it's like, what, me? And then it's Floor. Floor is there. Floor is everywhere. It comes up like Alex Mack. But
and then just his last one was quite good, where he just said, "I'm Vinnie Jones."
Yeah.
There it is.
I'm Vinnie Jones. Good. Someone else, I think, someone put like, "I'm a motherfucking X-Man." What? No, you've not seen the film. He's fighting her. She is. Anyway, don't watch it. Don't watch it to find out.
I mean, unless you're looking for Quill, because he was pretty good in that film.
Oh, yeah.
Remember his
little...
A mutant power that only comes into effect if he's close enough to hug you, which nowadays he'd be fucked, because he's keeping that 2-meter distance. It's fine, easy.
Yeah, that little setting on Alcatraz where he's just hanging out by himself.
Yeah, he's a loser.
He's a dweeb, man. Fucking hell, I'd rather be Juggernaut, big beefy boy. You gotta get me out of here. I need a piss.
Right, let's get to the part that everyone's been waiting for. Those are some of our favorite answers. Let's find out who won this quiz. So the weekly Rewind film quiz number 5, 270 concurrent viewers. I keep hitting the mic. Sorry for that. 270 concurrent viewers, 341 total players, 105 teams. It's funny because I think there was less players this week, but more teams. So the way the teams are divided is crazy. There was one team that had 10 people on it as well. But there could only be one winner. And do you want to find out who it was, Adam?
Oh, I'm desperate. I am desperate to know.
Here we go. The winner of Rewind Film Quiz number 5, the winner of some year-long memberships to the Prince Charles Cinema is Team... Guess who's coming to Durham?
Because it's Donovan Cummings.
Well done.
That's what I'm doing.
Oh,
yeah, well done. Well done to you guys. That was a very impressive showing there. We'll bring up the full-on results here. Let's get that going. I gotta do some clicking. Here we go. The full-on results with some of our favorite team names that we've highlighted. Look who's coming to Durham. 55 points. That means they only missed 5 total points in the quiz. Second place, we have Diplamo and Compliance Boy Strike again. 1 point off with 54. And that's a couple of close, but not quite theirs for them. I thought maybe they could win it this week, but there's always next week, guys. And then please read out my team name, Frank, at 52. Luckily, he came third, so I have to. I'm legally binded to do it. They came tied third with last week's winner, COVID Hasselhoff, and Wingardium Furiosa. Some really impressive scores on a really hard quiz. Some of our team names that stood out here. Welcome to Good Burger, home of the Good Burger. Can I take your order? Lovely. Great stuff. The Man in Bernard Castle. Is it Bernard Castle or Bernard Castle? How would you say it?
I've never said it out loud,
right.
as I don't
Barnard
see anybody.
Castle.
Bernard.
I'm just gonna.
I don't know.
I'm gonna go forward
friends
ignorantly with this. I think
we have friends who are from there, Frank, and I'll tell you afterwards.
Ooh.
But yeah, we have people who we both know two people who grew up there
in the castle.
Not inside the castle like fucking Quasimodo shit, but like their teacher, I think their old history teacher was the one who dogged old Goblin Cummings into the press.
Yeah, nice one. That's good. So there's a lot of these ones. I just had to highlight all of them. I'm Cummings out, 46 points. Guess who's Cummings to Durham? 40 points. You know, people know what they're doing. I'm a stupid moron with an ugly face and a big butt, and my butt smells, and I like to kiss my own butt. Hey, wait a minute. Listen here, you little puke. Very good. 36 points. Cool Cummings at 34 points.
That's a good one.
Howl's Moving Castle Barnard. Yeah. It's Sam's birthday. Give us some extra points, please. I didn't give you an extra point. Actually, you know what? Here we go. Watch. I'll change it on stream. Let me get to it. There we go. 33 points now. So you're not tied for 20th. You're tied for 19th. It's our quiz, and we'll do what we want to.
That's true.
What else we got? We've got Lockdown and Out in Beverly Hills, which I quite liked. That was Down and Out in Beverly Hills was an answer a few weeks ago. And the Horseshoe Rode In on at 28 was good. Jack and Wendy Torrance. I'd hate to be in that house during lockdown. Bernard's Moving Castle. Very similar to one we saw up there. So not only are you not original, but you got to score a bit more. Because if you scored more, you'd be ahead of the other one, and then you'd be the original one, and they wouldn't be. Mm-hmm. It's a fickle beast. And then also, we're going to need a bigger one-bed flat was quite good as well. So congratulations to everyone there, because there were some very impressive scores. I think there's one more bit of info from the quiz, which was the high score was 55, the low score was 12, and the average score was 33. So it was a pretty tough one, I'd say.
Yeah, it's a tough one. High score 55. I mean, that's amazing. If you cheated to get it, then only you and your creator will know the truth. Yes. But for us, all we can say is congratulations and thanks for playing. That was it's a good score. And the lowest score, you know what?
They tried.
They tried, and like some people have said, like, you know, they get to a point and they're just like, oh, I can't be bothered, and like, or they feel embarrassed to kind of submit the score, which we say don't, because probably 12 more is more than I'd have got, even though I've already done all of this quiz before.
And it's all for fun, really. I mean, like we keep saying, the first prize gets a little bit of a membership to Prince Charles, which is a great prize, but for the most part, especially with 105 teams, it's not about winning, guys. It's about enjoying it. 7 weeks now, sort of in lockdown. We're sort of starting to get out of it, but we're gonna keep doing these quizzes and having fun doing it. And it's great that, week in, week out, we keep getting, for the rewind quizzes, we're getting that over 100 teams each one. For the lockdown quizzes, it's like 400 teams. So it's just, we're super happy that you guys aren't getting too burnt out with the quizzes. Like we said, we might take a week off in the future, but it's not in the near future. We're going to keep going with this for a while. Maybe another week or two of rewind quizzes, and we'll announce a lockdown quiz soon, I would hope. But let's just take a look at some of the reactions from Twitter from last night, because a lot of you guys obviously tweeted along with us. We got Sam's birthday here. That was nice. Wished him a happy birthday on air. Wish you another happy birthday again today. So happy birthday again, Sam. And thanks for taking time out of your night to spend with us. I know there's not a lot of places you could have went, but doing it here at the quiz was great. This one was quite nice. Filmageddon, me and Turngas have played along live to every Filmageddon since number 2, but have never submitted our answers. We just want you to know we're here, we've got our paper ready, and we love it. That is a very nice comment. Thank you very much. Glad you're enjoying it, submitting your answers or not. And that's what we're talking about. Just here to have some fun. We've got Kat, who is ready. Baby monitor at the ready. Again, super impressive. And a bit of toothless action in the back there. That's good. I like that. I like when I can catch some film memorabilia and merchandise and stuff. Jimmy, here we go. Ready for that. Here we go. We've got Lydia and Eric with the new addition to the family, quizzing along. Amazing stuff. That child is full-on Filmageddon quiz. They are going to be born and raised to defeat the quizmaster in battle, which makes me worried for my life.
You should be. No, that was a really sweet picture to see. I'd had about 4 beers by this point, and I was like, "Oh, that is." It made my night actually, and just it's nice. We always get it with like when we upload the quiz, unless you're Twitch watching this. If you are working for Twitch, we don't upload it anywhere. But if you go on our YouTube and see like our upload, we upload it, we get comments back and be like, "Oh, I played this with the family when I had time." So it's always nice to see a family together taking time. So yeah, really appreciate it. Really appreciate it.
We have fans, of course, of the Dominic Cummings round. You could see some of the images posted there. Again, if you missed the quiz, you can always find it on Twitch, right here on Twitch, or over on YouTube, maybe. It survives longer over there. For now. Maybe. We'll see. Matt, awesome quiz again. Once again, never get enough Tim Curry. Can you do a Tim Curry round? No, a Tim Curry quiz. Timageddon, Currygeddon quiz. God, I love Tim Curry. It did really get me thinking of like, I could probably throw together a Tim Curry round at some point because I love Tim Curry. Who doesn't love Tim Curry?
Yeah. His face could be behind like boxes of like curry and stuff. I'll send you a picture. I'm having some for my tea.
Tim Curry. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. No, wait.
We had a couple of really nice suggestions as well for rounds and stuff. We had a couple emails, a couple of tweets. We really appreciate that as well. Keep them coming, guys, because I'm telling you, it's a dry well up here sometimes. So no, there are some really generally good suggestions for future rounds that I definitely think we'll do in our Filmageddon way, and we will definitely make sure to give a shout out to the people who suggested them when we do that. Jimmy, another week.
If you don't get all the marks though, then
we can't give you any cheats for that. Another week, another top Filmageddon quiz. Why did we put the thing from another world for question 2.6 when every part of my brain meant to put Invasion of the Body Snatchers? Because I'm an idiot, that's why. I think someone snatched my brain for a moment. You guys had a very good showing this week, so don't be too down on yourself, guys. Here's one of those suggestions. Can we have a movie OS round? Clips of computer screens. Name the film. I really like that. I'm just thinking of Jurassic Park right now with that ridiculous like 3D like it's a Unix system.
Yeah, I love that. And I guess like the Matrix you'd get, but then you could. I'm sure there's like scary movies that have like, I don't know why we're live fucking broadcasting this idea.
We got Sarah here. Of course, the team's back with Travis the mascot. They always get some props that they can that tie into the quiz. Always really impressive that they can find it. I guess we cover a lot of movies, though. What do we got there? We got The Thing, Alien, Lord of the Rings, Another Thing. What is that? Oh, is that Psycho? I can't see. Am I... Oh, yeah, it is Psycho. It is Psycho. Sorry. And, of course, Travis, looking evil and up to something as always. He's got this furrowed brow. He's always up to something. I love him, but he's up to something. I'm sure of it.
Yes. I know, yeah. It's funny, though, like, just having... I always think, like, got it to hand, or is it, like, let me know about what is... Do you guys, like, think of it beforehand, or is it as the quiz goes on? Because the only thing I've got to hand is, like, some water. There's a bag of some wine. This is where wine came in.
I thought it was an actual bag of wine that you could sip out of.
A bag of wine, yeah. Just like cut the bottom and just like... No, we're not that
A couple more good ones here. That was solid. Sorry, I could speak. That was solid tonight, guys. A happy medium between tough and ones the rest of us mere mortals can answer. Enjoyed the DC round 2 for the laughs. Cheers for another quality quiz, which seemed tougher than usual, but we did quite well with some inspired guessing, although I don't believe that Tracy guessed Care Bears. She knew it, but didn't want to admit it. Yeah, guys, so many nice tweets and stuff there, so thank you, as always, for everything. And yeah, I think that about wraps it up for today. We've gone over everything we can. Anything worth mentioning? You know, something actually, sorry, I'm going to interrupt myself. I didn't mention it last night. I always forget to mention it. And I actually forgot to mention a lot of stuff at the end of last night's quiz. It was just like, I think I was in that speed run mode, so I just sort of signed off real quick. But the podcast, make sure you, if you don't already, subscribe to the podcast. We do it pretty much every week. The Filmageddon Podcast, you can find it pretty much everywhere podcasts are found. And it's us. We used to talk a bit more newsy stuff, but because of lockdown and everything, more recently it's us talking about the films we were watching in lockdown, some TV as well. We do it in our own way. It's sort of the Filmageddon Unchained look as well, because we get pretty feisty in there talking about things and sometimes people as well that really, scratch us the wrong way, I'd say. But we're nice, all things considered. The overall image is it's a fun, nice podcast with our particular sense of humor, I think.
Yeah, it's good. I think it's one of the better podcasts, but of course I do.
Because
Because
you make it, yeah. Obviously,
Yeah.
we've got our Twitter page here. Follow us if you don't already. I'm sure you already do. I say it every week as well. If you don't have a subscription to Twitch, it's free. It takes like 2 seconds to sign up, and it does mean you can get involved with the chat, which is always great. I love interacting with the chat. I mean, even during the quizzes, like, I'm always doing about a million different things, but I do jump on in between the rounds, and there's always some fun stuff going on in there. Plus, it means you can follow us, and if you've got an Amazon Prime account, you can give us a cheeky free subscription. Although I do know that quite randomly with Twitch, if you do have an Amazon Prime subscription, you have to manually renew it every month, because I just had to do that for myself. So
that's just
it's kind of stupid, but I would never speak ill of Twitch. That's our home. It's our home.
Yes, but maybe. Yes.
And
it's
one more big thank you to anyone who's, whether it was this week or past weeks, have bought us a coffee online. It seriously is so appreciated. It's going a long way in helping us improve these streams. Again, we've pointed out like the mic and things like that. I think finally next week we are going to have some better image quality as well. So it won't just be my webcam filming it. It should be something nicer looking. I don't want to promise anything. And again, the quiz isn't about me, but if I can look a bit better, then why not, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna but it's just a mask collection. We're getting a mask made of Frank's face, so that eventually when he gets written off, oh, there he is. He's back. This is his true form.
They haven't made an appearance this week. But yeah, that about does it here for us this work week, I'd say. We might be back with some video games at the weekend. We've been on a good run of it, but we'll see. We'll have more info on that probably tomorrow. So do keep in touch with us on Twitter and follow us and notifications, all that good stuff. But yeah, I don't know what else to say. I keep rambling. That's what I do. I try to fill air. And now I'm out of air in my lungs, Adam.
Well, would you like some CPR?
Yes.
Okay, so you'll have to put yourself close to the screen, and I'll just blow down your gullet. Okay, here we go. I'll blow down your gullet. Now, you got to do it to staying alive, all right? Now it just looks like we're trying to kiss.
Okay. This is embarrassing. Yeah, okay. See you guys next time here at Filmageddon. Thanks for watching. Congratulations to all the teams. And yeah, see you next time. Bye-bye. Bye.
Bye-bye.